Alright guys, feeling here back on more NieR Replicant. Gonna continue on. So yeah, it's Thursday afternoon. It's not morning. I don't even remember what were we doing in the story right now. Oh, we're going back to the Aerie, okay. Where are we at? Wait, let's just check real quick. Where are we at with herbs? Okay, we have enough herbs. Alright, yeah, so I thought I was gonna be busy all morning today, or morning, afternoon, like before work. Turns out that thing got canceled, so I'm good. The problem is that I fucking woke up at noon, pretty much. Which, I mean, to be fair, I didn't go to sleep until like 5, so it's like it's not really like it's not like I like slept for like 12 hours or something. It's like, but still, it's like did not want to get up that late. But anyway, it's 1 o'clock now. Started listening to the Big Brother update, which was ridiculously long, so I'm probably gonna. So I'm listening to it at 1.25 speed, and we're probably gonna listen to it. Well, actually, let's just start it now. Whenever.
Target thing, and Derek correctly says, "What? No."
Yeah.
I've never.
So after I have time to play this, probably not gonna play too much though. Probably only like an hour or so, and then I do have like a little minor thing I do right before work, and then obviously I have to work later today. So like, and then tonight, gonna watch Stars South Africa. Hopefully we get a merge. If we get a merge, then I'll record the power ranking tomorrow.
So like, I'm with you.
And then
don't worry about
there's something else. What was the other thing that I need to do?
Christian tries to convince
Big Brother is also tonight, so
next week because
again, we got a lot of
everything might be working together, so watch out for that.
Stuff to talk about there, or a lot of stuff to do there.
So you said Derek X really never targeted Christian.
So again, may or may not
That's what I thought.
play NieR tonight.
We'll see. Derek X is coming for him.
Yeah, because Frenchie lied about it. Yeah.
Alyssa's convinced Derek X is coming for Christian. They think he is the only person right now that they have to be afraid of, and it'll show up later when Alyssa's doing her one.
Yeah, so
Derek X completely lied to my face.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much all about. I mean, last night I streamed Mass Effect.
So cuddly, he's not lying. I don't know.
It was a bit shorter of a stream than I have done recently. I mean, like, I'm actually lengthwise it's about the same. It's just I started earlier. It's like I ended by like before 3 o'clock.
It'll be interesting. Big D and Xavier are going to talk. Big D, yes, not very loyal to the cookout.
No, not at all.
We're gonna have to let Tiffany and Ozzy go, says Big D. And Xavier's like, yeah, you know, it's not anytime soon. You know, later on, yes.
Exactly. Sorry, I just wanted to point out, because a lot of people on Twitter thought Xavier was agreeing with Big D here. He was not. Xavier clearly does not want to let Tiffany or Ozzy go anytime soon, especially since, again, it's only week 1. I think Big D is getting, he's getting battered down because Ozzy keeps, I don't know why Ozzy keeps venting to him about Frenchie, like, every night, but I think he's just getting annoyed that he really has to try and be in the middle of the two of them, and he's clearly, we've all seen it, Big D is, like you pointed out correctly from the jump, Big D is the weakest link when it comes to the cookout, so I think he would want to just get rid of Tiffany or Ozzy so he doesn't keep having to do this balancing act between them and Frenchie, but Xavier is we need Xavier in this game because Xavier is just calming Big D down. He's trying to get Big D
Mass Effect last night was brutal. Playing on Insanity on Mass Effect 1 is just brutal because like the game's fucking broken.
Well, yeah, I think it's important to point out that Xavier is playing a very passive game right now, and he pretty much is going to agree with anything that anybody says to him, and so in order to figure out what he really thinks, you have to either listen to him talk to the cameras or try to sort of like read between the lines sometimes. If he gives slight pushback, that probably indicates that that's his actual stance, but he's not willing to take a firm stance on it. So he'll agree, but be like, but maybe like a little bit later. And so I'm with you. I think that I don't think that he would like for Tiffany or Ozzy to go anytime soon.
And the one time he did give any kind of semi-firm pushback, Frenchie asked if he was threatening him. So Xavier is playing very passive. The one thing I don't like is in this conversation, him and Big D agreed that they were not going to go for the HOH this week, which really sucks for Xavier because Xavier is already being targeted by Frenchie and I think Brent and Alyssa, and most of Slaughterhouse is already talking about we're going to have to cut Xavier and Kylan. Sometime, soon, or not. They're not getting to the 5 or whatever. So,
alright, let's just save here.
Xavier's playing with fire this week.
Wait, what?
Hopefully, he's able to. I'm confident.
Oh, fuck off! We can't save.
His skills are navigated so far. But hopefully going further, he tries to actually get some real power.
Yes. So here's the thing. I don't know that I would trust Xavier to do the right thing with the HOH if he did win it. So in some ways, I'm glad that he's going to throw that. But I completely agree. He does not realize the danger that he is in right now. And I really think that he needs to be trying to win. And maybe once he does win, he can figure out some actual information and do something about it. But he is concerned about Kylan being on the outs of the slaughterhouse. So Xavier says this. And I'm wondering if this is partially why he is in the dark, because of this mistaken belief. He says that because Brent, Whitney, and Alyssa were the last 3 to be brought into the slaughterhouse, he feels like they must be on the bottom. But that is very blatantly not true if you know anything about the dynamics of the slaughterhouse. So if he actually believes that, then I think we are seeing like where the misalignment is here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so how can you think that those 3 are on the bottom when you just see how they interact with Frenchie? And Frenchie is supposed to be the top of the slaughterhouse because he is the HOH, he has the power, he was the one who formed it. Frenchie is with Brent 24/7, like if they can. Whitney has been linked to Brent. They're talking. People are saying, are they going to show match or are they not? So I just don't understand how anybody can think that they're near
so fucking dumb.
But again, it's week 1. They're still
what?
Get the totem pole right. I think if like Claire or somebody else on the outside of the slaughterhouse wins HOH, Xavier might see that he's on the bottom if they try to push the target onto him, and that would be great for his game. If he knows that information, the person doesn't target him, and then he gets power and he can turn back and target the slaughterhouse.
Yeah, and that's the thing about somebody outside of the slaughterhouse winning, is that all of these cracks in the slaughterhouse, if one of the slaughterhouse wins, they may not act on those cracks yet because it makes no sense for them to.
Exactly.
But if somebody outside of the slaughterhouse wins, you best believe that the messiness will happen.
Like big brother gods, please, you owe us one. You owe us one. We need one competition.
Not a single competition went the right way last season.
Yeah,
we need one.
Just you worry about the rest. Because that alliance is so fragile. It's been glued together. Like if one push and it's shattered. So I would really love to see somebody outside.
Wait, why even bother
so that
for
we
us?
can get all of the cracks forming and stuff like that. So, yeah, Big D and Xavier. This is such a good conversation. Mostly because I also want to point out Big D. In this conversation, he clearly, we always kind of thought that he was a recruit, that he knows the game, but is he in love with the game like some of these super fans? After listening to this conversation, I don't think he is. He even talks about maybe not even wanting to make it to jury. He talks about he wants to create chaos and stir the pot. I think correct me if I'm wrong here, Karen, or tell me what you think about this. He thinks that if he stirs the pot and causes chaos, then the slaughterhouse won't come after him and Xavier. And I'm like, I feel like that's the exact opposite, because when alliances are like calmer and they have a structure, or people within those alliances feel like they have a safer bet than other people in the alliance, I think they're more likely to target bigger people in the alliance than the people on the bottom of the totem pole. If everything is chaotic, then it's just like throw out the people who are on the bottom of the totem pole. And Xavier is definitely on the bottom of the totem pole. So I didn't agree with this at all. What are your thoughts on that?
I completely agree. It's one of the first arguments I made against the kinds of twists that they would often introduce that especially in Big Brother Canada, that cause so much chaos and make people insecure about their own positions. The less secure you are about your position in the game, the less likely you are to make bigger moves and bigger plays. You're going to be clinging to whatever makes you feel comfortable, and that's the easy route.
Wait, wasn't there a ladder?
What you want to do is make people feel very, very comfortable, because then they start to go, I can do whatever I want. And that's when you get some good stuff.
It's kind of like that classic like Survivor, like once they go up with the big numbers, they're like, okay, we can chop off one of our numbers.
Exactly.
In a sense. So I was like, oh my God, Big D, you're just taking the completely wrong approach to all of this. Talking about he wants to throw a rogue vote when people, Derek X has already may have said that he might vote that way, and Xavier was really trying to explain to him, if Derek says that he's going to vote that way, and you throw a rogue vote, that's 2 rogue votes. Then they'll have to try and figure out who that extra vote is. Then it'll probably land on either Kylan or Tiffany, because Kylan and Tiffany or Claire are in Travis's alliance. That puts heat on 2 cookout members, and Big D was like, ugh, I just want to start chaos. I'm like, I can't. He's the weakest link. Goodbye. I can't stand it.
All right. Well, Alyssa is going to talk with Derek. She says, "Look, I won't mind if you want to vote to keep Travis. Just let me know ahead of time." And he says, "Don't worry about it. I do not plan on voting to evict you. I'm voting to evict Travis." And she's like, "Okay."
Yeah, but she's already told everybody. If he had told me that, I would still be like, I'm still gonna use it to target you.
And she's just looking for a reason to target him.
Exactly. And at this point, Taryn, do you think the rogue vote, the hinky vote, is now too meta to even like use as a strategy? Because at this point, I'd be like, okay, there's an obvious person that people are gonna blame for this vote, so I'm gonna think that that person did not cast that vote. To be quite honest, because at this point, what does it benefit them?
It's never that person. If there's an obvious person who, like, if it's like, okay, Derek X is friends with Travis, but he's saying he's gonna vote Travis out, and then afterwards there's one vote for Travis to stay, and Derek X is like, it wasn't me. Nobody thinks it's Derek X. You just because you've gotten away with blaming him for everything so far. What this would actually do, in my opinion, is that if there is a rogue vote, and we'll talk about how there really might be later on, I think that what this really will do is exonerate Derek X. Because it will make it look like somebody is trying to pin something on him, and that he is innocent of. And when you are exonerated of one thing, it kind of spreads. Well, he's innocent. And if somebody's trying to pin one thing on him, what about the other things, right? So I actually think it would be good for Derek X's game if somebody is to cast a rogue vote and the blame tries to go on to Derek X.
Yeah, this is so messy. This is week one, y'all. Come on now. Yeah, and I can't. We're about to get to that, but why the rogue votes are? It never goes how you plan. Like, it never goes how you plan. Like, honestly.
Yeah. So Sarah, Beth, and Kylan are going to talk a bit more. They discuss the alliances that they're in. Again, Kylan's still not telling her about the cookout, but explaining more about the slaughterhouse. Sarah Beth is going to tell him about French kisses. She's going to go off again about Derek X and how he threw her name out there, and how, you know, like I can't believe, I'm trying to play rationally, but I just can't believe that he would do that. And Kylan finally is going to stick up for Derek X a bit. Like, he's not really coming for you. He's going to try and get her to move on to different targets, and he makes some progress. Again, as I said, Sarah Beth clearly has put all of her eggs in the Kylan basket. He can say whatever he wants to her. You don't have to play down your opinions here. If you don't want her to go after Derek X, just say, Derek X, I think Derek X is with me. I don't think he's coming for you. I really don't think you should target him. Just, like, straight up, like, please don't target him. And she would be like, okay. But instead he's trying to play it a little quieter. But it's much better than what he was doing before, which was not go after him. And so she's like, well, yeah, maybe I could do, you know.
I at least like that Sarah is factoring in the big alliance. I think this conversation, you can tell that she's trying to.
I wish there was a shortcut.
And again, we know Kai struggles with. I think.
Why the fuck do I have to open up the menu every single fucking time?
I just want to, watching the rest of this night play out, I just want to preface that when they were saying that, oh, Kai just says all sorts of random stuff. Like, I get his applause, he just says random stuff. I'm like, guys, that is also a symptom of his disorder. Like, it's not just the random stuff. It was when you're talking to Sarah Beth, and Sarah Beth is like, why are you even thinking of that option? Because in his mind, he's thinking of every option. That is one of the driving things that happens when you have that type of disorder. So, and I hope I'm saying that right, but he is thinking of every angle from every person's head, and it's sad because it's going to affect him in this type of game. But I love that Sarah Beth is there to kind of help him wade through it all, and it doesn't seem like she's getting frustrated with him at all with it. I mean, in the conversation, she's kind of like, wait, what? Why are we thinking of this? But I think she is there to help center him, and I do like their friendship. I'm so rooting for Kai. I love his energy. I love how he is dealing with this in that house, and I know it's not easy for him, but I think he'll find his footing the longer he's in there. Yeah.
So it's a good conversation overall. Alyssa's going to be doing a lot here through the course of the night. One thing that sort of kicked it off is that she has a conversation with Hannah where, now I was talking just yesterday about how Alyssa seemed to have like this weird thing with Hannah. And so she's going to talk with Hannah, and Hannah talks about how she feels like she's not really been included in, you know, the women stuff. And Alyssa's like, what do you need? And they sort of bond over the fact that neither of them have been included in any sort of like potential all women's alliances or anything like that. And Alyssa is coming around to Hannah, and we'll hear more about that. But it spawns from this conversation, and Hannah does a good job of hitting the right notes with Alyssa.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, I'm going to listen to this conversation because I thought it was just going to be people like BSing each other, and Hannah was doing a very good job of BSing Alyssa. Because Alyssa completely thinks that Hannah is like really not in that all girls.
Are we only 14 minutes into the episode? This feels like we've been here for a while.
What? And then they even had like a pretty people problems moment, like, oh, maybe it's just because we're pretty. Like, I was like, oh, girl, Alyssa, girl. Yeah. So this was a great talk for Hannah because apparently Hannah has been doing a really good job of connecting with a lot of people who initially were shaky about her. I think Sarah Beth, Brittany said that she is getting closer to Hannah as well. So Hannah's doing a great job of kind of just putting in that social work. And this was a very important talk because we'll see later that Alyssa wants to keep Hannah in as long as possible within the slaughter. Like talking to the slaughterhouse, she said she wants to keep Hannah around as long as possible.
Yes. So finally, Travis is going to make his pitch to Frenchie, and Brent is going to be there as well. This was very disappointing.
Yes.
Primarily because it was a terrible pitch. I mean, the points that he was making were fine, but he treated it like he was giving a sales pitch, right? Like he's a sales guy. He's like, here are my unassailable points, and what I just want to leave you with is who really benefits your game more, Alyssa or me? And it's like, this is not how it works in the Big Brother house. Yeah. You don't sit down with somebody for 10 minutes and give them a bullet point list of reasons why you should stay and then bounce.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not how it works, and it's how he tried it, and it just fell completely flat. The second he leaves, Brent was like, great points, but he doesn't know about Reliance, so
yeah, he really should have broed down. This is if you're gonna be a bro, this is the perfect bro down moment. If you go in there, you bro down, you then say your points, you get them to volley back at you, you bro down. You might, you'll get one step closer because we saw all French.
I can't even see my fucking character.
But no, he just rattled them off, walked out.
And am I supposed to kill all of them? Is that what
could have a showmance. He's proved he's loyal, I guess. A possible all-girls alliance, but Alyssa's not in that, so that doesn't help. He'd be a shield for them. Like, those are some good points, but do you think, I agreed when he said he wanted to wait till later to maybe yesterday to do this, but I didn't think that he was just gonna spitball them.
This is not the kind of campaign you make when you wait this long.
Okay.
Right? Like, the kind of campaign you make when you wait this long is one where you introduce chaos and you go to Frenchie last minute and you're like hanging out with him all night and you like let it slip that this person actually said this, and it's information that Frenchie couldn't have possibly known about because maybe it's a lie or maybe it's whatever, and you convince Frenchie that for some reason Alyssa is a big threat to his game and he didn't realize it before, and he doesn't have time to fully fact check it, and he's running around and it's Frenchie, so he's probably gonna like change his mind in that instant. You don't make points that Frenchie already knows about. Like, Frenchie already knows that she might get in a showman. Frenchie already knows that, that Travis is a loyal guy. He already thinks those things. In Frenchie's mind, well, Alyssa's in my alliance, so I'm not worried. So the last minute pitch needs to be a pitch of chaos, a pitch of, like, destabilizing whatever has been there before and not giving them any time to rebuild.
Nice.
But Travis waited far too long to make this kind of pitch, which is essentially he's trying to build a foundation of, if you're looking at the two of us in a neutral view, here are the reasons why you would pick to go with me. The problem is they already picked Alyssa and they've been spending days building structure on top of that. So it's too late to choose Travis over Alyssa. You've got to knock all of that stuff down and start fresh. And so it's not gonna work.
Yep. And that's it. That's plain and simple. You're right.
All right. So Big D is going to talk with Alyssa, and even though Xavier recommended he not do this, he's still going to approach Alyssa with the idea of, and this is Alyssa, mind you. Hey, Alyssa, I'm thinking of casting a rogue vote. It will give us an excuse to go after Derek X. What do you think?
Look, just try and keep
no?
Yeah.
I would like if you didn't vote against me, actually.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm assuming we're getting to that explicitly then. But what happened?
Alright, let's pause this, I guess.
It's me, Grandma. Oh,
okay.
You've grown.
Kaine, what's wrong?
Oh, it gladdens my heart to finally see you again.
Grandma?
Come, Kaine. Come to your grandma's side. You've been lonely for so long. So much pain, so much despair. Why go on living anymore?
Yeah, why go on living?
Is that it?
Hmm?
Are you finished yet?
Don't speak to your grandma like...
You're going to stop talking now. And then I'm going to slowly walk over to you, cram my hand inside your goddamn bitch-ass chest, and pull out your fucking heart! My grandmother was never...
We're still back in game? Okay.
If there is
That's
more than
good.
one rowboat. Like, what happens in this scenario where there's 2 rowboats and everybody's just looking at each other like this? Like, I feel like the chaos that will ensue will be so hilarious that half of me wants it to happen. But also, I still think that's such a dumb strategy. So I can't like condone throwing rowboats. But I mean, the entertainment value of that would just be A1.
What the fuck?
It is very possible that we may get at least 1, if
Okay.
not 2, and maybe even 3 rogue votes. I think it's possible. I would say likely we'll get at least 1, but I think it's possible that we get a few. So, and honestly, at that point, I feel like it becomes something else. If there's like 3 or even 4 rogue votes, then I think that would actually be... It would flip back around and be a good thing for Slaughterhouse because it would scare them into thinking that there's an actual opposition.
Oh my god, I don't want accidental game Oh my gosh. So now that, my biggest thing is, now that Big D has told Alyssa, if he doesn't go through with this rowboat, if it convinces him not to go through with this rowboat, and say we do give him 1, now, does Alyssa just go through what she kind of wants to do, is just blame it on Derek X, and even if Derek X is like, oh, I didn't do it, she's like, well, I don't believe you.
Wait, am I not hitting it?
Does she look at Big D funny?
What the fuck?
I'm sure she would look at Big D funny, actually.
Right,
she may look at Big D funny even if she doesn't win power. But I think that Alyssa at this point in time is going after Derek no matter what. And if there is a rogue vote, she will use that as an excuse. And people will, like I said, I think that it would be good for Derek X if a rogue vote was cast, because I do think it would in some ways exonerate him. But there are some instances where it probably wouldn't, and one of those instances is if somebody like Alyssa won, who is dead set on targeting Derek and would use that as an excuse, and people would be like, maybe behind closed doors they might be like, I don't know if he actually did it, but you know, to everyone's like, oh yeah, I can't believe Derek X is such a liar, because they don't want to be targeted themselves, right? So we'll see. Frenchie's going to talk with Tiffany, and this is where again more rogue votes talk. The way that this is approached is just so ridiculous. It's really like Frenchie. I just want you to picture something here. Like Frenchie is a child, and he is asking Tiffany for like a toy, but he has been told no a lot of times, and so he.
Responses.
I think she intends to perish where she lies. And in truth, perhaps death is the greatest comfort we can offer her.
That's not your decision.
So Steam announced the handheld gaming PC?
She's alive. She has meaning and worth, and we're going to save her. Everyone has something to live for, even Kaine.
Sounds interesting.
Yona.
Perhaps you should save your pretty words for her instead of wasting them on me.
Wait. So, yeah, where'd she go? I don't know. Let's just continue the podcast.
So he's trying to be coy about it. He goes, Tiffany, I need your help. Okay, I need your help to keep me safe next week. All right, what do we need to do? With Alyssa and Travis, Derek has been telling everyone that he's going to vote to evict Travis, which means it's going to be unanimous. But if it's unanimous, then everybody's going to be like, oh, Derek, he did what he said he was going to do. Now maybe we like him and you're going to bring him in. He's not going to be targeted anymore. And that's not good for me, because then maybe I'm the target. So, I'm a little bit worried about that. And Tiffany's like, Frenchie, you asking me to cast a rogue vote? Yeah.
And this is when Tiffany did a very deep sigh. It was a very like. Frenchie.
All right, we'll get you your Legos. Fine.
Tiffany did put on she had the 13-year-old, so she was like.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
So Tiffany does the deep sigh, and she says, I'll do this for you on one condition.
So am I not supposed to be doing that?
Listen.
Where am I supposed
You
to
do
go?
not tell anybody. I really loved it. Do you have the direct quote by any chance?
Something along the lines of you can never say a word about it to anyone.
Yeah.
The rest of the game, like no Brent conversations. I'm not going to say a word about it to anyone. And if it ever gets out, I know it's you because I'm not saying a word, and it would ruin the trust that we are building here. And Frenchie's like, yes, I won't say.
Yeah. She said, no matter if we're here for 7 days or 99 days, I don't want you to tell anybody. I don't want you to tell Brent because I know he's your friend. And she's like, did you tell him before you asked me this? And he was like, no. She said, okay. Then I don't want you to say it to anybody because I'm not going to say it. And it was so hilarious. First and foremost, because Tiff really did not, she didn't want to do it, but I think she realized that, he asked her directly, and it's a very tough spot to come out of. And oh God, I don't know. I don't like this, but I think it could work. I don't know. This is so bad. I just don't like this.
I think it's good for her relationship with Frenchie because they now have a shared secret, and Frenchie gets to feel like the big mafioso who gets to reach out to somebody not in his crew for a favor, and she's like, whatever you need, Frenchie, I'm here for you, and he gets to feel like he's puppeteering the whole house, right? And it's really not. It's really no skin off her back.
I was just about to say that, yeah.
It doesn't really impact her in any way. Whether or not Derek gets blamed for it, she's trying to protect Derek, but
he is,
at the end of the day, he's not the most valuable piece, even if he did get blamed for it. And again, like I said, if he does get blamed for it, it's not because they actually care about the vote. It's just because they would have gone after him anyway. And in some ways, this could end up helping him because he will be so clearly innocent. So I'm actually pretty fine with this. I think she's perfectly capable of lying about it if she needs to.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
If Frenchie tries to out her, then I do think that people would believe Tiffany over Frenchie when she says, he told me that he wanted me to do this. And
look up the gun.
Idiot I am. I did it for him. I'm so sorry, guys, And I don't think that she would really get in much trouble for it, especially since I think Alyssa would absolutely feel more betrayed by Frenchie asking Tiffany to do this than Tiffany going through with doing it. And I don't think anybody on Tiffany's side would care. The only person that might care is Derek, knowing that the whole thing was to blame him. But I think that, who else does Derek have? Tiffany's great at damage control, I think, with him.
Yeah.
So I don't think that there's really much of a problem here, and I'm pretty okay with it.
Yeah, it's just trusting Frenchie. It's trusting Frenchie to keep his mouth closed. And Tiffany has already said like she doesn't want him to tank her game, or what? Maybe that was Asa, but I believe Tiffany can pull it off. It's just Frenchie knowing, can Frenchie keep his mouth closed? That is what this is hinging on. Well, but again, you make good points.
And the thing too is that I think that you also have to look at because it's not just like she does it or she doesn't do it in a vacuum. It's in order to not do it, she has to say no to Frenchie, and we know how Frenchie reacts to especially women saying no to him. The last time he asked a favor of the women, and crickets. He was pissed, and I think that it absolutely would.
Where
I
is
think he would cause more
Wait, I wasn't paying
problems for
attention.
her,
Where the fuck is
making random stuff up that she can't even correctly deny?
She's somewhere back.
Then,
She must be somewhere back.
Then,
Because the guy doesn't mention
something that's
anything
actually true
before.
that she
So
could
it's like-
deny. That again, it follows a logical path, and it makes sense why Frenchie would have wanted her to cast that rogue vote and all of that stuff, right? So I think she makes the right call here.
Oh man, this is gonna be hilarious.
All right. So Brittany is going to talk with Tiffany now. This I wasn't fully able to follow the path here, but Brittany it's come back to Brittany that she's been blamed for essentially French kisses.
Yeah.
There's some sort of women's alliance with Frenchie that's been running through the rumor mill, and apparently she's been blamed for being the person who started it. And she's like, what the hell, Tiffany? I wasn't even there. And Tiffany's like, oh, and let me tell you how it started. Actually, I'm not going to tell you how it started. So you don't even know. So you're even more clean of this. And she's like, yes.
That was such a funny conversation. I love Tiffany. Like, literally, she is feeds gold. She's strategic gold. She's just everything. And this conversation in the bathroom was so hilarious because Brittany was doing her Brittany thing.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm literally gonna look up a let's. Oh, alright, I think we should be good now then. Actually, I might as well start the podcast again. If it would load. I even see this ladder here.
Fun, spunky self. And Tiffany was like, you know what? I don't know. She was like, I don't know how it got to you, but it's true. I think it was, because it spawned during that whole Frenchie telling Brent and Whitney thing. Because it didn't come out that it was possibly Claire who started it until Whitney was the one who started telling people that when Frenchie told Whitney and then Whitney told everybody else, it was Claire. So I think Brittany was the default in that first iteration.
I think it had to be Brent, because Brent had been trying to put a target on Brittany the night before. It had been kind of shot down.
Okay.
Grandma, can I rest now? I'm so tired.
Kaine, over here! Don't give up! You're stronger than that! Don't you dare give up now!
This woman is more trouble than she's worth.
That's it. Come on! You're going to live, Kaine!
Live? What for?
What?
I had my revenge, and now it's over.
Oh, now, see here. This is rich.
Vice?
We helped you in some mad quest for vengeance, and now you think to bid us adieu? How can a fighter so skilled be cursed with such a thick head? A true warrior would fight. They would give all in the service of their friends.
Friends?
That's right. He's right. Kaine, we're friends now.
See here, that was hardly the point.
Okay, then what is the point?
Is that right?
Kaine, we need your help. Will you fight with us?
Fool, you cannot simply ask her outright. There is a proper order to these matters. One must ease into the topic with carefully considered words before commencing
Cram it,
negotiations. Book? How dare you? I am Grimoire Vice, wielder of arcane...
Vice, then.
Do not abbreviate my name.
You're an ass. But you're right. I can't just live for revenge.
You mean... you're coming with us?
So let's see if we can save. Alright, we'll end here. Next up, continue on. For now, thank you for watching.